Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm Big Matt, and today we're going to be looking at a TEAC X3 reel-to-reel. This is a 4-track unit. It plays and records in the forward mode. It runs at 3 3/4 inches per second and 7.5 inches per second. And today we're just going to be doing a demo on the controls and features of the unit, how to load a reel on the reels onto the machine, and how to make your connections at the rear of the machine. First thing you'll notice about this machine is how small it is in stature. This is a cell phone, and it's like twice as tall as that, so really compact unit. Identical unit to the realistic TR3000. This is a very durable machine. The controls are really simple to operate. Loading the machine is a breeze. We'll go through that shortly. But I'm going to start with at the rear of the machine, looking at the connections. You have your output connections here, just simple RCA jacks, and these are your inputs coming from an MP3 player or another tape deck or whatever. Plug your inputs here, and then you plug your output here going to your amplifier. And just going over the different controls and features on the unit. These are your reel tables. This is your supply side, and this is your take-up side. It has built-in reel retainers, so you don't have to stick on those little rubber stoppers to keep your reels from popping on and off. Simply slide your reel over the spindle, and then give it a quarter turn, and it'll lock the reel onto the reel table. This is your tension arm. You have another one on this side. This is your tension roller. This is your head block. This is a 3-head unit. There's an erase head here, a record head approximately here, and a playback head here. This is your capstan. This is the pinch roller. The tape goes in between the capstan and the pinch roller, and this is the workhorse of the unit. That the capstan actually pulls the tape through onto the supply reel. Supply reel just adds enough pressure to take up the slack on the tape. So the tape goes over this roller, and then down beneath the tension arm, and then onto the take-up reel. These are your this is your headphone jack. These are your microphone left and right input jacks. These are your view meters, left and right view meters. The controls on this machine are as simple to use as any cassette deck. You have a rewind, fast forward, a little light. Rewind, fast forward, stop, play, record. Whenever you want to go into record, you press play and record at the same time. This is your pause switch. This is your speed. When it's out, it's running at 7.5 inches per second. When you press it in, it's running at 3 3/4. This is your power switch. This is your microphone input volume. You can raise the volume for your input microphone or bring it down. This is your line input. It's what we control right now I have it hooked up to my PC. And that's controlling the input. And this is the output. This is your source tape source switch. It's the monitor. Right now we're monitoring the source. When we're playing the tape, we're going to be monitoring the tape. This is a record mute, so let's say you're recording a tape and you want a certain amount of blank space on there, even though there might be some music playing still. You press this button as you're recording, and then it'll block any signal going onto the tape. These are your EQ and bias switches. I tell people with these, it's best to experiment with either setting, with both settings, excuse me. Because a lot of times, especially if you have used tape, there's really no telling what type of tape you have. It could be a normal bias tape, and you'd have these things set for high bias. But you on some tapes you can tell the difference. Some of them you can't. So I just say experiment and see which one sounds the best as you're recording. These things have no impact during playback, so the only time you're going to use these things is during recording, and then you just find the best combination, what sounds the best to you, and just go with that. Next, we'll go over loading the tape onto the reels onto the tape deck. Again, these are 7-inch reels. These are the maximum size reels that go onto these machines. Simply slide them on the spindles, give them a quarter turn, and that locks the reel onto the reel table. And do the same thing on the take-up side. Okay, then you want to load the tape beneath this pinch roller. Excuse me, tension arm over this roller, beneath the heads, between the capstan and the pinch roller, on top of this roller, and beneath this tension arm. Then you bring the tape up to the reel, and there are plenty of ways you can spool the tape on there. This reel is fairly easy because there are a lot of openings. Just kind of take off the tension, and you can hold the tape and just wind it on there, or you can leave a little bit of the tape out if you like, but just wind it on itself until there's enough friction that the supply reel turns, and then you're off to the races. If you wanted to just listen to a tape, you'd press play. Of course, put the tape source switch into tape, but we're going to begin recording this same song, so that way we're listening to it and we're recording and listening to it at the same time. So this is the song that's going on to the tape. I'll press record and play, and then I'll go from source. Right now we're listening to what's going on to the tape. When I go into tape mode, that's the actual recording. And again, with your line input, or excuse me, your line inputs and your outputs, the input controls how much energy is being printed onto the tape. So if we bring this down, you'll watch. You can see the V meters go down also. So that's how loud of a signal we're recording onto the tape. So we're going to bring it up to where it's in the, or on this machine around the 2 o'clock position. So this is where we're recording at, and so now the output doesn't really have an effect on the what's being printed onto the tape, but it does control the output of the unit. So you can turn the volume down, but you're not affecting the way the tape is being recorded. Again, the controls are very simple to operate. Let's stop. This is fast forward and rewind. Great little compact unit. This is the TEAC X3 reel-to-reel.